$2 billion, that's what P. Diddy says Jay-Z owes him. Not 2 million, not a miss royalty check, 2 billion. And the craziest part, that number isn't even the most shocking thing Diddy said when he finally broke his silence. See, this isn't just a money dispute, it's a full-blown betrayal saga between two of the most powerful moguls in hip-hop history, and it all exploded in courts. Let's back up. For years, Diddy kept his mouth shut while everything around him fell apart. Lawsuits piled up, feds raided his properties, his name got dragged through headlines, gossip blogs, and social media, each story more damning than the last. The empire that once made him a billionaire started crumbling in front of everyone, but through it all, he stayed quiet. Until now. When Diddy spoke, it wasn't some emotional meltdown. It was cold, calculated, and full of venom. He didn't cry. He didn't apologize. He pointed the finger straight at Jay-Z, the one man everyone assumed was untouchable. And what he said shook the industry. According to Diddy, Jay-Z didn't just owe him money, he framed him, fed him to the wolves, orchestrated the entire collapse of his empire just to dodge a $2 billion 0 cents payout. Now let's talk numbers, because this isn't just hearsay. At his peak, Diddy was a billionaire, but a huge chunk of that, nearly 70%, was tied up in his spirits business, especially Ciroc and De Leon. His partnership with Diageo, one of the biggest liquor companies in the world, was revolutionary. Back in 2007, he didn't just endorse the brand, he stepped in as brand manager, creative director, and took on a 50/50 profit-sharing deal, unheard of at the time. He turned a sleepy label into a multi-million case empire. The money was pouring in. Then came the collapse. His net worth plummeted from over $1 billion to around $300 million, 0 cents. The spirits portfolio down by more than $500 million. Cash reserves down. Real estate down. Everything was bleeding. At first, people assumed the lawsuits and bad press were to blame. But now Diddy is saying it wasn't just bad luck, it was sabotage. Here's the wild claim. Diddy believes the reason Diageo suddenly turned on him and why his whole business started crumbling was because Jay-Z didn't want to pay what he owed. He says Jay-Z, with ties and influence in every corner of corporate America, pulled strings behind the scenes to ruin Diddy's credibility, crush his partnerships, and make sure he went down in flames before that massive payout ever reached his hands. But Diddy didn't stop there. He dropped an even bigger bombshell. He says Jay-Z has been manipulating the game for years. Silent moves, quiet back doors, always emerging clean while others around him took the fall. He pointed to the rise of Jay-Z's net worth from $450 million 0 cents in 2011 to over $2,500 million 0 cents today, and asked the question nobody else dared. How did he climb so fast while everyone else was falling? According to Diddy, it's because Jay-Z used other people's money, deals, and sweat, including his, to build that empire. And when it came time to share the profits, Jay-Z chose to protect himself, not pay up. It all sounds like the plot of a movie. Two music titans, once allies, now enemies in the courtroom. But what makes it even more gripping is what Diddy says he has next. Evidence, emails, contracts, maybe even recordings. And if that's true, Jay-Z's silence is more than suspicious, it's strategic. The courtroom wasn't the only place this feud erupted. The internet went nuclear. One clip of Diddy calling out Jay-Z sparked millions of views within hours. Twitter threads lit up with conspiracy theories, Reddit forums dissected every old photo, every quote, every business deal between the two. People started connecting dots like it was a crime drama. They pointed out how Jay-Z always stayed out of messy headlines while his peers, Dame Dash, Kanye, Diddy, got swallowed by them. Was it luck, or was he the one feeding the flames? Whispers turned into shouts. Fans remembered moments that didn't feel important before. Diddy avoiding certain interviews, Jay-Z dodging questions about old business partners. There were even rumors that the fallout between them had been brewing for years, ever since Diddy's spirits empire started cutting too close to Jay-Z's own growing business moves. And now with Diddy claiming Jay-Z orchestrated his downfall, people weren't so quick to dismiss it. One of the most chilling parts, Diddy's claim that Jay-Z didn't just betray him, he sacrificed him. He said Jay-Z knew the walls were closing in and made sure Diddy was the one dragged into the spotlight. The lawsuits, the raids, the explosive allegations, Diddy suggested none of it was accidental. He painted Jay-Z as a mastermind who stayed clean by making others dirty, someone who moved like a puppeteer behind the scenes, keeping his own hands spotless while others took the hit. That narrative hit hard because it aligned with the image people already had of Jay-Z, the strategist, the chess player, the man who always seemed 5 steps ahead. But what if he wasn't just ahead? What if he was the one placing the traps? And then came the receipts talk. Diddy said he could prove everything. He claimed he had contracts that were never honored, profit splits that were hidden, and bank transfers that mysteriously stopped. He hinted at secret recordings, emails with incriminating language, and direct communication showing Jay-Z's refusal to pay. If even a portion of that is true, it wouldn't just be embarrassing, it would be catastrophic. Corporations started getting nervous. Jay-Z isn't just a rapper anymore. He's tied to major brands, the NFL, massive investment firms, and billion-dollar partnerships. And none of those companies want to be associated with a scandal. If Diddy drops proof, those brands could pull out overnight, because at that level, it's not about loyalty. It's about image, and no one wants to be linked to a mogul accused of theft and betrayal on that scale. Meanwhile, Jay-Z said nothing. No press release, no Instagram post, no interview, nothing. And that silence? It only made things worse. The longer he stayed quiet, the louder the accusations felt. Because if Diddy was lying, wouldn't Jay-Z call him out? Wouldn't he bring receipts of his own and shut it all down? Instead, sources say Jay-Z has gone ghost, tightened his circle, canceled public appearances, pulled back from upcoming events. Some insiders claim he's watching everything unfold from behind the scenes, calculating his next move. But others say he's just hoping it dies down before any real damage is done. Either way, the damage is spreading. Diddy's not backing down. His lawyers are reportedly preparing to submit formal claims, and insiders say he's ready to leak documents if he has to. What started as courtroom whispers is now looking more like a full-blown war. And the line isn't just drawn between two men, it's split the entire industry in half. Jay's empire has always been built on perception, the clean image, the mogul moves, the quiet dominance. He wasn't the loudest in the room. He was the one everybody knew was watching it all from the corner, silently stacking wins. But now, that image is cracking, and not because of tabloids or trolls, but because the one man closest to him just lit a match and dared the whole world to watch it burn. Diddy didn't just accuse Jay-Z of betrayal. He accused him of theft, manipulation, and deception at the highest level. A man who built his fortune not just from talent or hustle, but by stepping over the very people who helped him rise. And when those people became threats, he allegedly erased them from the equation. Cold, clean, final. The weight of Diddy's words isn't just emotional, it's strategic. He knows the industry's built on loyalty, legacy, and leverage. And if Jay-Z's legacy was built on broken deals and backdoor betrayals, it doesn't just affect him, it unravels the entire story we've been sold. The partnerships, the awards, the billion-dollar label, everything starts to look like a house of cards. Some say Diddy's just lashing out, playing the desperation card to save himself, but others, especially those who've watched hip-hop evolve over decades, say this feels different. They say Diddy's not just talking, he's threatening, with purpose, with intent, like a man who's waited years for the right moment to reveal what he knows. And now that he has nothing left to lose, he's finally going for the jugular. Even artists who once hailed Jay-Z as a mentor are suddenly quiet. No one's rushing to his defense. Not Roc Nation affiliates, not corporate partners, not even Beyonce. The silence from his camp is making people nervous. If this were all lies, where's the denial? Where's the outrage? The press conference? Instead, it's like everyone's waiting for the next shoe to drop. Because if Diddy drops proof, real proof, it doesn't just ruin a myth, it unravels a myth. And the fallout won't stop at Jay-Z. It'll shake record labels, endorsement deals, private equity firms, and global campaigns. The NFL won't stand by. Streaming giants will go cold. Even the artists under his umbrella could see their deals in jeopardy. That's how deep this goes. It's not just about two men beefing. It's about the foundation of modern hip-hop business being put on trial. Diddy, for all his controversies, now has something Jay-Z doesn't. The narrative. He's positioned himself as the betrayed, the sacrificed, the man who stayed loyal until loyalty cost him everything. And while that doesn't erase the lawsuits or the allegations surrounding him, it does give him one thing he hasn't had in months: sympathy. Even his harshest critics are suddenly listening, because the idea that Jay-Z might have fed him to the wolves to protect his own empire is too powerful to ignore. If the receipts drop and Diddy's not bluffing, then Jay-Z's carefully curated legacy could collapse faster than anyone thought possible. And in a culture that thrives on authenticity, the revelation that the king might have stolen his crown, that's the kind of story that rewrites everything. So now, the industry is frozen, waiting, watching, wondering. Will Diddy actually release the proof? Will Jay-Z fight back? Or will this all fade away like so many stories before it? One thing's certain, this isn't just about money anymore. It's about truth, reputation, legacy. And when the dust finally settles, hip-hop may never look the same again.